Hey, we're back. Are you
Back.
drinking at 11:30 on a Sunday morning, Todd?
No, it's just my usual Red Bull, but I had a warm one, so I had to throw it in some ice to get it cold.
Not sure what you've got there, Mr. Locksmith. What is that?
Liquid, liquid
Oh,
death.
I read something about that recently about the guy that created it basically bottled or canned tap water and just gave it to everyone he knew, and that's how he made his fortune.
Yep.
Cheers.
I need to work on a scam like that big time. Especially now that there's really going to be no regulation as far as health concerns with product and anything like that. That's why Ron's perineum sunning equipment sounds like a
At this point, you get piss in a bottle, mix in a little bit of Mountain Dew, and call it a health drink.
B vitamins. It's got B vitamins. It turns piss neon yellow. Anyway,
Oh God, isn't that what mellow yellow is? Neon piss.
that was exclusively my drink when I was a kid because it was only 25 cents for a can. We found a vending machine that had it for a quarter. That and Barks root beer were all they had.
Ooh, yummy.
So my broke ass went from Mountain Dew to I'm still mellow yellow to the core.
It's hard to find mellow yellow like at Quick Trips and stuff. There's usually like two rows of it, and then there's like two doors of Mountain Dew products.
Oh,
Well, who owns mellow yellow?
Coke.
Yep.
Coke has it? Okay.
Yeah, it's a Coke product.
Probably does better in the South because Pepsi pretty much swings their dick around up here everywhere.
I had a Baja Blast yesterday and I didn't feel right all afternoon. I just think it was that much. It was either old or just that much sugar. I haven't been used to it. I've been since the colonoscopy had been attempting to eat better. I'll forget about it in a couple weeks. I was explaining to the engineer how my farts have really I don't know if I had a blockage or what was going on, but I've got some bass and some vibrato back that I thought I had lost.
Well, your sphincter kind of got stretched out a bit, so it's much more elastic, like a guitar string, I suppose.
Oh God.
All right,
Anyway,
enough of the foreplay. What's the topic today?
you came up with the topic for this one because you're the movie guy. Since you had to sit through sports and all there is on today is freaking NASCAR. By the way, I just got done watching Pitbull perform at NASCAR at the Daytona 5. What won't he do?
Not
man.
Doesn't
much.
seem like a natural fit for NASCAR fans.
No.
Yeah, and Trump is apparently flying in shortly.
Oh,
So
Christ.
if there is a God, there would be a gigantic fuel carrier explosion sometime today. But
Okay.
then
There'll
now
be black vans around Mikey's house tonight.
the NSA, if they haven't been completely defunded, are probably checking us out. Anyway, uh, is it rom coms we're doing?
Oh, so you're actually seriously going to use one of my ideas?
Yeah, I asked you to come up with a topic.
You ask me for shit all the time, and you never fucking use them.
Well, here's your chance. This is the Todd episode.
I better go buy a lottery ticket today.
Rom coms that guys would actually watch. Is that it?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Do
There's
something.
there's one I've always used back in the past when I had a social life. And if I had to like sit through some horrible fucking rom-com, I'm like, all right, but there's one I want to watch with you. And if she can sit through it and somewhat enjoy it, I'm like, okay, maybe we got something here. And that movie is David Lynch's Wild at Heart with Nicolas
Oh,
Cage, who's right behind you, Mikey.
yeah.
Because that is a relationship that basically goes through hell and back with a little Wizard of Oz sprinkled in for some strange fucking reason.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. I know I've seen it because I think I've seen all the David Lynch stuff, but I don't.
So Nicolas Cage is just out of jail, and so Laura Dern is his girlfriend, and they're madly in love. And Laura Dern's mom is played by her real mom in real life, and she's fucking psychotic. And basically, that's the reason Nicolas Cage was in jail in the first place because the mom was hitting on him. She blew him off, or he blew her off. So she had one of her minions tried to kill him, but he killed him first. But they were able to finagle it so it wasn't self-defense. So, anyways, he gets out of jail, grabs Laura Dern in his car, and they bust bail and go road tripping. So then the psycho mom sends people after them, good guys and bad guys, and it's just all manner of misadventures along the way. And Willem Dafoe plays the skeeziest fucking character he's ever played. I mean, the guy's just oily and icky.
I don't know if I've
Yeah.
actually seen this.
Oh God, trust me. Once you've seen it, it will indelibly imprint in your mind for forever. And there's also some crazy sex scenes. And then, there's a big blow up. And then I don't want to give away the ending too much, but, they break up, but then they kind of get back together. But that whole thing is just like defies words because it's fucking David Lynch.
Yeah, so you show this, you screen this after you've sat through her movie.
Yes.
What is her movie usually?
Oh God, something with Matthew McConaughey or something with, oh God, Kate Hudson or, whoever basically inherited the crown after, what's her face from Harry Met Sally? Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan. I was looking up rom-coms that people would actually watch, and when Harry Met Sally came up a lot as one that was decent, and that's one I should probably rewatch. I mean,
Well, that's before they got so formulaic, so cookie cutter.
since they
Um,
turned into Hallmark movies.
oh God. Well, no, just, the plots are always the same. You can swap out the characters, swap out locations, but the same fucking shit happens. And well, yesterday I went over to some friend's house and my buddy's wife had to finish watching 10 Things I Hate About You.
That came up too.
And that one's actually good because it's funny because as you watch it, there's a lot of throwaway jokes that are fucking hilarious that you don't notice. It's like little sight gags. And the dialogue's actually pretty good. And if you know the Shakespeare play it's based on, Taming of the Shrew, it's actually pretty spot on with its adaptation. It's way more digestible than Leonardo DiCaprio's version of Romeo and Juliet.
Oh God, when that came out when I was in high school, every girl, and of course my dad was an English teacher, so he taught like the legit versions of it, but that made him a pretty popular teacher for a while. But good Lord, that was terrible. I don't care. I mean, I know what they were going for, but eh, eh.
What
Maybe
about
I'm
you
just
guys? What do you guys
maybe I'm
got to
just
throw in
jealous
here?
that every girl that I knew lost interest in me and just wanted to bang DiCaprio.
They still do.
Engineer, can we talk about your romantic comedy? How,
So
how are you
I
going to loop this into being a romantic comedy? Go ahead.
Oh, you're gonna love this one. So I decided to take the direction a little bit different. I wrote my own.
You
Cool.
wrote your own.
Yes, I at least got everything on the envelope that I need to do with this. All right, so we're gonna set the scene for you here. Every romantic comedy obviously needs to be set around a holiday, but fuck Christmas and winter because I'm so sick of this shit.
Thank you.
So, mine revolves around a 6 month span, basically starting with Arbor Day, because I figured that holiday does not get enough love. And we're going to end this near Halloween. So, picture the scene Arbor Day, it's the end of April 2001. So, we've got our main characters here. Julie, who is dating Stuart, they both live in New York. Stuart is a stock trader, where Julie is a lawyer in the town. She ends up coming back to her small town in Nebraska, where she runs into a former classmate named Noah, who is the town plumber. Now, the reason Julie is in town is she's there to take care of her dying grandpa's dog. So, more to be clear, the dog's dying, not the grandpa.
Or both.
So, yes, we figure, we got to pull the heartstrings a little bit there, get
Yes,
a
equally
dog.
sad.
Yes. Now, we wanted to make this the kind of place where men are going to watch this. So I had to add some explosions into the romantic comedy.
It's an and or
So,
titty, but whatever.
well, yes. Don't worry, both will be coming through.
Oh
Um,
my.
so the first explosion, Noah is seriously injured when replacing a toilet, and the sewer gases explode, throwing the toilet into his body, and he ends up in the hospital. Now, the other part that we've always got is will they, won't they get together? You've got to have that in a good romantic comedy. Now, we're not going to do this whether Julie wants to cheat on Stuart by getting with Noah or anything, who is now massively disfigured due to the fact of the toilet going through him.
Massively disfigured.
Oh, it
Yeah.
went through
Oh
him.
god.
Well, it'll just say he's disfigured. Um, so working with that, the will they won't they though is more is he gay or is he not? He's definitely coming through as gay, and she wants him, but she can't tell if he actually wants her back. Um, as part of the whole thing where Todd said you need some titties, he's actually in the hospital. She's there visiting him, and she flashes him, which brings him back to full health. Little sci-fi.
As it
Wow,
does.
this sounds very 80s.
Yes.
Not one nurse has ever done this for me, and I'm gonna have to file some complaints.
I know. I know.
But how often do you have
So,
a hot nurse these days?
Always. When you're on the kind of drugs they give me, they're all hot.
Oh, fair
True.
enough.
Even
So-
the dudes.
Basically, we go down the ladder a little bit longer. They grow to love each other, but she still can't tell if he's gay or not. And, she's too embarrassed to ask, but he's definitely giving off, sometimes gay vibes, sometimes not. Uh, so finally, she decides, fuck it, I'm going back to New York. She's going to go back because she's like, I just can't get anywhere with this guy. I'm going back to my boring life. So right about then, 9/11 happens. And Stewart is killed in the
Jesus
second
Christ.
explosion.
That's the end?
No, so she decides that she's going to stay in Nebraska and try her hardest to get with Noah, but unfortunately, Noah just kills himself out of his shame.
What the
Wow.
fuck?
This went very Hallmark to very almost like Requiem for a Dream, depressing. The way to throw in 9/11. Mark can't stop laughing right now.
President throwing ass to ass. Jesus.
Well, that definitely would have brought it to Requiem for a Dream.
What's the working title for this?
The plumber.
The plumber. Can Jason Statham please be in this one?
Christ.
Yeah, I think we can make him Stuart.
Can
And-
Jason play a gay plumber?
That
He can
would
play
be
anything he
probably
wants.
the acting of his life.
There's a comedian who talks about like in every single Jason Statham movie, he says the character that he actually is. Like, I'm a mechanic. I'm a
I'm a
plumber.
beekeeper.
I'm a beekeeper. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a gay plumber.
Ah, for Christ's sakes.
You asked this, Todd. Don't be mad.
I didn't ask for what he just did. What the fuck?
All right.
I let my creative side out. I'm sorry.
Of all the things you could be and should be working on, I don't think that was one of them.
You know what? He put more.
Hey, indulge yourself.
He put more into this one podcast with taking notes and everything than we have in like 5 years.
What's this wee shit, Kimosabi?
True. Anyway, Locksmith. I'm not sure how you're gonna top that.
I don't. Yeah, I was just gonna make a Die Hard joke and call it good and go for laughs, but I'm laughed out. I don't have anything funny to say after that.
Jesus.
The way you just slipped 9/11 in there really
Yeah.
Everything's going great. He's getting nursed back to health. He sees some titties. 9/11.
Yeah, it's like you co-wrote this with Rudy Giuliani.
It's almost like no one expected it.
Yeah, it's like a right. What?
I would want I think I would want Bill Burr to be in this too then, as like maybe as a doctor or a nurse that's nursing him back to health.
The sassy best friend.
So he can make 9/11 jokes as it's happening.
Oh,
How do you Okay.
I
Well,
don't know.
let's ask the two married guys What kind of romantic comedies do your wives like to rewatch, like ad nauseum?
I'm blessed. My wife's a reality TV person. I don't have to watch a lot of that.
Oh,
Uh,
huh.
that could
Do you
be.
like watch like stuff that's hard emotionally, like SVU,
There
like
you
real
go.
life, go to bed upset.
Well, that's because dad's a cop. She kind of lived that life a little bit.
Yeah,
Whoa,
probably.
whoa. I was unaware of this.
Yep. Not a cop anymore. He's a retired one. So
What amazed me about when I worked in nursing homes was people how many people watch SVU in their your grandparents' age and they're just hearing rape, 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 semen, penis, rape, semen, I'm like, wow. And they're just completely into it. And I'm thinking this doesn't seem right.
Well, they like that the thing gets wrapped up by the end of the episode. Like the bad guy gets caught. That's the drug. That's the endorphin hit. Is at the end of that episode, the bad guy gets it. And in their minds, that's how the world should be.
There must be a movie locksmith that you've been drugged to before, kicking and screaming. I mean, you're a good guy. You've probably had taken one for the team at least once.
I don't remember the title of it, but I was dating this chick when I lived in Rochester.
Ruh-roh.
And every time we went out to anywhere, she would find a theater that had this one like completely unknown rom-com that no one cared about, and we had to go see it every time. In a theater, I probably saw this one movie that I swear I cannot remember the name of because it's so stupid. It's like a Hallmark movie they got in the theater somehow. And we watched that movie like 20 times. And you know what? I never even got into girls' pants. We dated for
I was
like
just
six.
gonna ask
Oh
that. Did this get her
no.
in the mood?
No, no, never did. In fact, if anything, it removed the mood entirely by the time it was over. She'd cry, and then she'd be like, "All right, I want to go home now." And then we'd have like an hour and a half drive where she didn't say anything. And apparently, that's what she wanted. She just wanted it to be like awkward and quiet. Weirdest relationship of my entire life. But that's the only one I've ever been in where I've been forced to sit through like
Good
rom.
Lord. I mean, they say, was she
She was
trying to get you?
processing some kind of trauma.
That's a
Jesus.
Yeah,
that's a really terrible way of to passively aggressively get you to dump her. I mean,
no, that's the craziest part about it is she didn't want me to go away. She wanted me to hang out because I asked her on one of the trips back from the cities one time, like, "Hey, like, what's up? What are we doing here?" And she's like, "No, no, this is great. This is exactly what I want. You want like 2 hours of silent driving, followed by a movie where we don't talk, followed by 2 hours of silent driving? Okay, all
that
right,
sounds
that's
like somebody who just didn't like being alone with themselves.
yeah, yeah. I
That or
wouldn't have.
she had intimacy issues, but she just wanted to build a bond of trust with you.
Did she ever ask for your opinion on the movie, or was it
Well,
discussed, or did you just sit there in shock of sitting there going, "Why am I doing this the whole way home?"
Well, like any man trying to get into someone's pants that doesn't have a lot of options, you just eat, uh, and you just keep going to the same movie over and over again. And I mean, I was working like 90-hour weeks at the time. Like I had no free time. So like the one day off I had in like a 2 week span was spent with another person who I had a remote chance of getting with. Yeah, sure, all right, I'll watch the same rom-com like 45 times. It's fine. I mean, it felt a little like torture like the last couple times, but you know, I couldn't tell you what the title is. I mean, if it played, I could
Remember who's
probably
in it?
word every line though. I don't even remember. That's
Wow.
just the most unremarkable rom-com you've ever seen in your entire life. Like, picture the most Hallmark movie of any Hallmark movie, and
I
just
want to
that.
Oh, I can. My mom watches that thing
I
just for,
want to watch
especially in the
this
holidays.
just because I want to experience what it's like to black out for like 2 straight hours without drugs. I just want to
Yeah,
go away for like, please find this.
let's see, like 2011, maybe 2011 ish.
Oh God. Why are you doing this to us, engineer? He brought in the couch. You're on the couch though.
I know because I can.
Is there now? Here's a movie that comes to mind. I don't know if you can call it a rom com. I would, but every semi crazy, semi kinky girl loves this movie. What do you think it is? Some have tattoos. It's a Tim Burton movie.
Edward Scissorhands?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh.
Find
Yeah,
me
that movie took on a life of its own that just boggles the mind.
find me a girl that likes that movie, and I you have found me a girl that's probably going to want to do stuff that I'm not necessarily comfortable with, but I'm going to try anyway.
Well, let's
Sounds
look at
like
that
Mikey's
movie.
getting pegged.
So, what'd you say, pegging? What?
Mikey's getting pegged.
Oh, Christ. No, but let's look at the Nightmare movie. So like the romantic leads, you got this wild rebel skeleton, and what girl doesn't get turned on by a
Bad
rebellious guy?
boy.
And she's got this toxic thing with her father figure who's always trying to keep her under his thumb, and she throws herself out a window and then stitches herself back together, which is twisted in its own way. But then she supports her crazy rebel boyfriend even when he fucking self implodes after Christmas, and then she still helps him along the way. She's just always going to help that bad boy. Always going to help him grow up. And he does actually grow up, as opposed to the reality of bad boys who never grow up and become eventual deadbeat dads.
And they're generally the people where you can find the best crystal meth.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, there's a total romantic fallacy fantasy in there.
I dated someone for a very, very brief period in college that had a VHS tape of The Princess Bride.
Oh
And
Jesus.
every single night when she went to bed, that movie had to be on every night without exception, without always stayed at her place because that movie had to be on every night when she went to bed.
That sounds like a childhood thing that just dragged on into adulthood.
Yeah, that one didn't end well.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other rom coms that I've been drugged through before. The one about Pleasanton with Toby Maguire. I think it's
No, it's Pleasantville.
Pleasantville, yeah, with Reese Witherspoon. Wasn't bad, but I saw that on two different first dates with two different women in the same week.
It's the two different last dates as well.
No, it worked both times. I mean, they didn't last.
Oh,
They didn't last
oh.
long. But
They probably found out about each other.
if I remember right, that might have been the time when I went to a date with a Lori and then a Laura, and I called the second one the wrong name, and she figured it
That'll
out.
do it. That'll do it.
Why you always date people with the same name? Come on. Amateur.
You come up with kitschy nicknames.
I've seen on the dating
Sugar, honey,
profiles somebody that
big
would
tits.
that would
Sugar
be
tits, yeah.
perfect, but she would probably be perfect. She'd be great, but she has a name of somebody that I've dated, and I hate that name so much that I'm like, I'm sorry, we gel well, but I'm gonna be screaming at you in my sleep. So
Was it Brittany?
shut up. She had to spell it ANY too.
Oh, Christ.
I mean, EN or like Brittany spelled that way just means you're kind of a turd, but ANY, she thought she was special. And
Jared Ferguson?
yes,
They aren't half the Britney spelled with A-N-Y, so no one's technically special.
I don't know. The only thing I was thinking of for a pitch would be another Nick Cage love story, but I think we should do movie Mad Libs at some point. I've got a book somewhere here that's adult Mad Libs. We could actually come up with a movie plot, but I was thinking like two people working a job, a miserable job, like working. My idea was the town dump.
I was going to say radio, but whatever.
Yeah, well, two deaf people working in radio trying to figure it out.
Oh my God.
The movie
That
is
might
just
actually work on the indie circuit,
the movie is just called
Asshole. Asshole.
Anyway, two people working at like the town dump. and they hang out every night like Nicolas Cage. I don't know who his sidekick or the love interest would be. Somebody really innocent that definitely doesn't belong in this movie. Um, not sure who comes to mind. Or somebody that seems like they'd be just as weird, maybe like Jennifer uh, Hudson.
Mhm.
Anyway, they meet at the town dump and they sit there. This is a phenomenon we had up in the Northwoods where we'd go to the town dump, throw our garbage there, and then watch the bears tear through the garbage. And that was my idea. But and then there's, if we're going to add some kind of drama to it, there's a dump fire, I guess. It's not 9/11, but it's close. Um,
In a small town, that pretty much is 9/11.
a dump fire. They've got to put out the dump fire together. Either that or maybe two people working at a sewage treatment plant.
Mikey, speaking of dump fires, I may have purchased the domain onlydumpsters.com this week.
I've joked about buying amishonly.com for a long time. And
Well,
I,
there's a backstory to this
He's buying it now.
gag. There's we're familiar with a local dumpster where it appears that there's been some sexual activity there.
whoa, hold on. I'm out of the loop.
Oh yeah, that was a fun afternoon. I pulled up to the building and there was two dudes standing up, and I could see feet underneath the dumpster. See three sets of feet, and there's two dudes standing facing each other. And I honked the horn on my van, and some time passes, and then a girl stands up behind the dumpster, looks around, and then they all saunter off in different directions. Two guys hang out together. Chick goes off back to the local hobo gathering. It's 50 cents is 50 cents kind of a thing.
Wow. Why were you there?
I take care of that building, so pulled up and went to go do what I had to do, and surprise, the dumpster is in use.
So
Holy.
he told us this story, and I'm like, because originally thought it was like, like a $50 probably blowjob. I'm like, no, the best you could probably get is $5. And then
Like
of course, whenever you mention something weird sexual, engineer's ears perk up. He's just like, I should find, only dumpster, and there you go. That's the story in a nutshell.
so
That's
can
the
we
stream of consciousness.
Radio Mofo sponsored by onlydumpsters.com.
So only Amish is taken, and so is Amish only.
Dang.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry, Mikey.
What about Rumspringer Bonanza?
Oh God.
How to spell Rumspringer?
Yeah, that's the hard thing is it's got to be. I mean, they used to say domains should be short so they're easy to remember, but this one would be impossible to spell. Maybe that's part of the goal of just getting to that website in the first place. Rumspring, rumspringadumpster.com.
$10. I can own it.
So what are you gonna do with this domain?
I was thinking of putting just pictures of dumpsters on there just to fuck with people.
Hot dumpsters?
I mean, there would be some dumpster fires.
Well, what
If I
you
could
could
find some
do,
hot.
well, as I say, find some pictures of dead porn stars and then just superimpose their heads poking out of the dumpsters.
God.
Then that'll be the website, is like just cycling through those pictures.
I was trying to find some dumpster on dumpster action while we're at it, but
go to furnitureporn.com, by the way, while you're there. It's a very old internet website, but there's a hot chair on chair action, and they have
I think I know what you're talking about.
furnitureporn.com.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
See, I'm more of a traditionalist. I just prefer to see love seats going at it.
They've got
that's what they're built for, is love.
Their version of like the interracial section is like sofa on chair.
Oh my God, this site was designed in the 90s, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and it's still there.
I mean, I love the first thing. It's like enter, unless you're an enormous wuss.
Yeah.
That warning: before you can enter a hot furniture porn site, you must agree to the following legal mumbo jumbo. And the
Nice.
options are yes, I want to see hot triple X chair on chair action. No, I am easily offended doofus. Please get me the hell out of here.
Let me know if there's like a sub channel for Ottomans.
Oh, there is. They
Nice.
really, I don't know why, of all the sites of the early internet, that one popped out in my memory just now, but
I
it's
mean, it's
probably,
better than meat spin, so I'll give you credit on that one.
oh, I don't think Meat Spin exists anymore.
Oh God, I'm gonna need some eye bleach after today.
Oh God.
I like how you've
Sometimes you
switched.
got to fight your impulses to go down the rabbit hole, buddy.
I am not good at that. You know that.
If there's anybody
Yeah.
that's qualified for us to send into the bowels of the internet, it is you.
When
I
you're
do it
working at
again.
home in your office, do you have to like padlock the door so your wife doesn't come in just in
No,
case you're
she's
doing research?
no, I
Or
don't have to worry about that.
she just knows to like not enter your sanctum sanctorum?
Yeah, essentially.
All right.
Now I'm
Besides, most
wondering
of the
if
time I'm not working and she's at work, so
is
Mm.
working from home is an incredible misnomer. If they call, I work.
what are the chances that lemonparty.com is still around?
I don't know, but I was having a hard time finding goatse the other month.
Oh, I found a goatee that actually is the Gulf of America, but it's just the hands, and it's been renamed Gulf of Goatee.
I mean, let's see here. Lemonparty.org. Connection refused.
As it should be.
Yeah.
You know, the other old one that I don't know what the origin was the girl that just had a can. She was like half naked, and she just had a can of corn on her head. Yeah,
I
I
think you
don't.
might have just out interneted me, Mikey. I don't know that one.
I'll see if I can. I don't know if I feel comfortable. I'm gonna have to go into private browsing mode to.
Jesus.
That doesn't do anything, but let me search.
It's the reason I use the Brave browser and a VPN. And
I don't know. I kind of like the fact that the FBI is watching me search naked girl with can of corn on her head.
So do you have like some sort of like mechanism attached to your heart so in case you die, then your computer system just like melts down so you
No,
can
you
take
guys
everything
are.
on there to the grave with you?
Nope. I want to be out and open.
All right, fair enough. That also marks with your personality. So, all right.
maybe that's a product that should actually sponsor Radio Mofo. The heart stop or
Turn off safe search.
The dead man trigger.
yeah,
Oh,
the,
they
Yep,
search.
dead man switch.
the
Dead man
radio,
switch. Thank you.
Radio Mofo Dead Man Switch. Are you ever concerned that you're masturbating to something questionable and your heart may
Nope.
stop? What's bad is when you get to the age that you're like, God, if I died right now. I'm looking at onlydumpsters.com.
Last thing you could do is reach out, pull out the power plug. So eventually, no one finds you right away. The computer battery dies and no one can get into it.
Or you carry around a gigantic coffee mug at all times that you can just dump onto the monitor as you're choking yourself out while
Not
you.
that Mikey has thought about this more than once, apparently.
So we're hitting the 2 minute mark. Let's reevaluate what we've been through today.
Go
Mikey
ahead.
actually took one of my ideas for the show and used it, so that's a major milestone. Then we started with rom coms and shit just got fucking wonky. Then we end up with Dead Man Switch while we get to the end.
And
That sounds fair.
Locksmith, have you found that movie yet?
No, no, I can't find it. It's so unrecognizable. I can't even recognize it. So I've gone through 3 years worth of movies.
Are you sure you weren't drugged?
I mean, it's distinctly possible. She was crazy. So, until I met my wife, basically everyone before that was an insane person. So
And I blame rom coms for that.
I mean, I blame a lot of things for that, but rom-coms are definitely part of the problem.
You got a whole generation of women believing that that's how the real world works, and it's not.
Nope.
So
Not this
to sum it up, what have we learned today, boys?
I'm
I
not
believe
to be trusted.
There actually was one corner of the internet the engineer has not discovered yet.
FurniturePorn.com.
That's also going to be our new sponsor.
Hell yes.
Christ.
FurniturePorn.com. Sponsored by OnlyDumpsters.com. Sponsored by RadioMofo. Deadman Switch. Oh God. Okay, we're done.